Today, let's talk about this, the Redmi Note 11 Pro 5G. When we first got hold of this device a week ago, to be honest, we were impressed by its looks. The minimalistic and simple design gives out an even better vibe than its predecessor. Personally, the Redmi Note 10 series was one of the best affordable smartphones of 2021. But can the Redmi Note 11 Pro 5G compete or even top the performance of its predecessor? Mabuhay Manila, this is Jacob, and today we will find if the Redmi Note 11 Pro 5G is capable of gaming. So before we start our gaming, let's run through some of its specs. It has a 6.67-inch Super AMOLED Full HD Plus resolution paired with a 120Hz refresh rate, a 64-megapixel triple camera setup, and the Snapdragon 695 5G chipset paired with a 6nm process. Our review unit's configuration is 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. Everything is backed by a 5000 mAh of battery, which is paired with a 67 watts fast charging. Even though we have a 120Hz refresh rate display, will the power-saving AMOLED along with the 6nm chipset, will the battery last longer? So as usual, we start with a fully charged device. Let's start it off with Mobile Legends. By default, our settings are set to high refresh rate, HFR mode back then, and ultra graphics quality. So basically by default, everything is pretty much bumped up. As for its gameplay experience, even navigating at the menu, selecting the game modes, everything is already smooth. Transitions are visible and it already feels immersive. Inside the game, the experience is even greater. It is smooth, no frame drops even at clashes. We tried playing Brawl so that clashes are pretty much inevitable. Performance-wise, didn't even budge all throughout the game. So with the max settings, we get about 60 FPS with 100% stability. Our next MOBA game is League of Legends Wild Rift. This is a bit demanding compared to Mobile Legends. I don't know why, but every time we play Wild Rift on our review, unit's graphics settings are always set to a quality that is the lowest possible settings. So we will be bumping everything up so we can fully stress the device, and refresh rate above 60 in the game is not available, so we can fully take advantage of the 120Hz display. As for its gameplay, we tried playing ARAM because it is just like the Brawl game mode in Mobile Legends. At clashes, there are no visible frame drops, although halfway through the game, the device is starting to get warm. And it shows minor stability drops, and it happened outside of Clash, which is quite odd, but still, the game is pretty much smooth and playable. So with the maxed out settings, we get about 56 to 58 FPS with 97% stability. Now, let's move forward to FPS games and start it off with the Call of Duty Mobile. By default, our settings are set to high graphics quality and high frame rates. Although very high graphics quality and max frames are available, we can't pair them for some reason. So we will be sticking with the max frames plus high graphics quality. In multiplayer mode, gunfights are smooth with no visible frame drops or stuttering even when aiming down your sights, so making a 360 and landing some shots are easy peasy. As for the Battle Royale mode, with the settings right off the bat, you can feel the difference in stability. This is a bit clunky but still a smooth experience. There are some locations where we are experiencing low frames. It is not a frame drop but more of a low stability. So with the high graphics quality plus max frames for multiplayer mode, we get a smooth 60 FPS with 100% stability. While for the Battle Royale mode, we get about 45 to 50 FPS with 96% stability. Up next is PUBG Mobile. By default, our settings are set to HD graphics and high frame rates. Ultra frame rates are available via balance and smooth graphics quality, so we will be sticking with a balance, plus ultra so that we can maximize the refresh rate for its gameplay. Jumping off the plane doesn't show poor stability. Once landed, gameplay is pretty much smooth, no frame drops or stuttering during gunfights. And I didn't experience any heating on the device, so with the balance plus ultra frames, we get about 49 to 53 FPS with 99% stability. Next are the MiHoYo devs games, and started off with Huawei Impact 3. Recommended settings are set to quality, which is 30 FPS for both in and out of combat. So let's bump everything up and set it to 60 FPS for both. Although at first, everything went smooth, the longer we were in battle, frame drops are starting to show up, especially his casting skills, or there are too many animations visible on the screen. Doesn't output harsh frame drops, but more of poor stability. So with the max settings, we get about 45 to 50 FPS with 95% stability. Last on our list is Genshin Impact. We won't be expecting too much on this game since this is a very demanding game, especially since it is an open world. By default, settings are set to low, so let's try bumping the FPS to 60. With 60 FPS enabled, the gameplay is quite decent, although there are some notable frame drops during combat. Pretty much everything is bearable. There are no harsh stutterings and frame drops, but we did feel poor stability. Although when walking around, the gameplay is pretty good. So with the low settings plus 60 FPS, we get about 44 to 46 FPS with 95% stability. As for the battery performance, after 2 hours and 45 minutes of gaming, our battery dropped from 100 to 79%, which is quite decent for a 5000 mAh of battery plus a 120Hz refresh rate. The smaller architecture chipset and the power-saving AMOLED pretty much did their job on preserving the battery life. As for its charging prowess, the 5000 mAh of battery is paired with a 67W fast charging. Charging the device from 0 to 100% took us about 1 hour to fully juice up the device, which is quite longer than I expected for a 67W fast charging. Again, it can run Wild Rift and Mobile Legends at stable 60 FPS and a smooth gaming experience for Call of Duty and PUBG Mobile. Although we did struggle a bit on AAA titles like Honkai and Genshin, still all the games we tested today gave out positive remarks. So for the price of 15,999 pesos, this is a must-buy smartphone. If you are nitpicking on a mid-range device that offers killer specs, check out the Redmi Note 11 Pro 5G. So that is our gaming review of the Xiaomi Redmi Note 11 Pro 5G. Once again, Xiaomi delivers an outstanding smartphone. What do you guys think? Does the price correlate to the specs that it offers? Let us know in the comment sections below, and thank you guys for watching, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you will be notified with our future contents. Also, don't forget to visit manilshaker.com for more tech news, reviews, and comparison of the latest device. Once again, this is Jacob, and mabuhay Manila!